Hello students, let us know about the unification of Italy. In the previous session we discussed about the process of unification of Germany. Let us understand about how Italy was unified. Just like Germany, Italy too had a long history of political fragmentation. During the mid-19th century, Italy was divided into 7 states. Only Sardinia-Piedmont was ruled by an Italian princely house. During the mid-19th century, Italy was divided into 7 states and only a particular region called Sardinia-Piedmont was under the control of an Italian ruler whose name was Victor Emmanuel. The people living in Sardinia-Piedmont used to speak Italian language. North was ruled by Austrian Habsburg Empire. The northern portion of Italy was under the control of Habsburg Empire, which was under the control of Austrian king. The center of Italy was under the control of Pope, and the south was under the control of Bourbon kings of Spain. It means that the northern part of Italy, the central part of Italy, and the southern part of Italy were under the control of different rulers. So it became very important to unify Italy. Around 1830s, for uniting Italian Republic, Joseph Mazzini program was formed. Joseph Mazzini was born in Geneva in 1807. He was an Italian revolutionary who took the initiative of the unification of Italy. This particular person, Joseph Mazzini, formed 2 main secret societies. The first one was called Young Italy and the second one was called Young Europe. So through these 2 secret societies, he started uniting and leading the movement against monarchy rule. He wanted a democratic republic society. He wanted a society where people will be given equal opportunities and freedom, which was completely denied during absolute monarchy. Now, Young Italy, a secret society, was also formed. Failure of revolutionary uprising from 1831 to 1848 by King Victor Emmanuel II. It means that one movement started. The first movement started in 1831 and it lasted till 1848. But it was a complete failure because there was no support from the common people. There was no support from the ordinary citizens. This movement was not strong enough to go against the mighty ruler. So failure of revolutionary uprising from 1831 to 1848 gave Victor Emmanuel a chance to fight against the different regions and occupy the whole of Italy and make Italy a unified nation. Count Cabot, who was the chief minister of Sardinia-Piedmont, took the initiative under the leadership of Victor Emmanuel to unite Italy. So in Italy's unification, Count Cabot played a very important role. Sardinia-Piedmont's force marched into South Italy, drove out the Spanish rulers. It means that these Sardinia-Piedmont's they started marching towards the South Italy, and they finally drove the Spanish rulers from that particular region. Count Cebre, who was the chief minister of Sardinia-Piedmont, was very tactful in his diplomatic policies. He went to France, took the initiative of unification of Italy, and he was very much successful in gaining the support of France. So, with his tactful and diplomatic policies, the Count Cebre was able to gain the support of France, and with the help of French troops as well as the Sardinia-Piedmont troops, the combined forces of Sardinia-Piedmont and French troops helped in drawing Spanish rulers from South Italy. Next, in 1859, Austrian forces were defeated by France and Sardinia-Piedmont allies. In 1859, next war started, and this particular war was with Austrian forces. The Austrian forces were defeated by the combined forces of French army and Sardinia-Piedmont's army, and finally the Austrian forces were defeated and they left that region which was earlier under their control. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel became the king of United Italy. So finally, in 1861, Italy became a unified nation, and after 1861, it was decided that the ruler or the king of unified Italy will be Victor Emmanuel II, and finally Italy was unified, and Rome was declared the capital of Italy, and finally Rome was declared as the capital of Italy. In this way, Italian unification came to be a successful one. Thank you. As you can see on the board, I have written some important events from the first chapter of history, the rise of nationalism in Europe. So let us know about certain events one by one. 1789, the French Revolution occurred. The French Revolution occurred on 14th July 1789. 1797, Napoleon invades Italy. Napoleonic War begins. In 1797, Napoleon Bonaparte invaded Italy and Napoleonic War started. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte proclaimed himself as the Emperor of France. He introduced a civil code which came to be known as Napoleonic Code. It was introduced by him in the year 1804. 1814 to 1815, defeat of Napoleon by European powers, Britain, Prussia, Russia and Austria. The combined forces of Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria defeated Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo. This period from 1814 to 1815 is considered as the turning point in the history of Europe. 1815, conservative regimes were set up. After the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte, conservative regimes were set up, which gave power to absolute monarchy. It means that absolute monarchy again came after the defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte. 1832, the Treaty of Constantinople was signed and Greece was recognized as an independent nation. As you know, Greek civilization has its own importance in the world, and this civilization is considered as one of the oldest civilization. So the Treaty of Constantinople was signed and Greece was recognized and an independent state. It means that Greece became an independent state after the Treaty of Constantinople was signed. 1859 to 1870. This period is considered as the unification of Italy. 1859 to 1870, this particular period marked the unification of Italy. 1866 to 1871, unification of Germany. Germany was unified, and the process of unification of Germany began in 1866, and finally in 1871 Germany became an unified nation. Thank you.